if you find yourself in social situations feeling socially awkward or having social anxiety, your moon sign can tell you why, because your moon sign in astrology actually helps you to feel, to see what you need to feel safe and secure, or how you feel nurtured and nourished and safe in environments. Because your moon, as I've been discussing in the psychology of the moon, is what is the safety anchor, right? Is your nervous system body. Okay, so you can look to it to see what triggers you socially in these types of environments, whether it's whether it's networking, whether it's parties. Okay, so I'm actually going to go through shortly for all the 12 signs so you can see, you have just an idea of what you need socially in these environments to feel safe. So that way, before you go in, you know kind of how to regulate yourself, because knowing yourself is really important in terms of, healing your nervous system. So this is why I love astrology, because astrology can give you more defined characteristics of what you need. But first, before I get started, my name is Azur, and I love using astrology to help heal your nervous system. So, if you're interested in that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and then also check the links below for not only my astrology course, but my nervous system healing programs and my readings. All right, if you're interested in any of that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with Aries. Now, Aries, in order to feel safe and secure in social situations, you need to feel alive. You need to activate the environment. Okay, now this is dependent, of course, on any other placements. If you have aspects, with an aspect is just a relationship. So if you have a planet in relationship to you, it could be expressed a little bit differently, but overall, you are the leader. You're the first sign of the zodiac. So you like to be the initiator, okay? You like to be sort of the leader, even if you don't feel like it. You like to either be the leader, or you're like, let's dance, like let's activate the environment, okay? So that's what you tend to need in social environments as an Aries moon. Taurus Moon, what you need to feel safe and secure in social environments is that you need to have a sense of comfort and sort of like a control over the environment. Okay, so you'll be looking at the environment, like say to yourself, well, do I feel comfortable? Is the food good? Is there food? You may go straight to the food, but also Taurus is, remember that you're the bull. You're like, listen, I'm not gonna stay here unless I can just relax and be myself and be comfortable. All right, so it's important that you have that in order to feel safe and secure in any social environments. Gemini Moon, you need to have an exchange of information and communication. And you really like to be, Gemini Moon is sort of voyeuristic. So they like to look at everything. I'm a Gemini Moon. So you like to look at everything and make a deduction based off of what you see. And you like to talk with people to see, what you have in common, or you like to have that sense of stimulation when it comes to people. Again, it can be selective, but you like to kind of like look and analyze everything, all right? And because you're very mercurial, right? Your Mercury is your ruler as a Gemini moon. So that's what you need to feel safe and secure in environments, that constant communication, change of energy, and um, being able to absorb or observe and analyze. Cancer, what you need to feel safe and secure in social situations is that you kind of like to merge with people. So you like to just kind of blend in with people and sort of, this will be subconscious because the moon is subconscious, but you'll want to, if a person is standing next to you and they're quiet, then you'll be quiet. But if a person's standing next to you and they're talkative, then you'll be talkative. All right. Another way that you can sort of like operate in nurture or in environments, social environments, is you'll be the nurturer. You like to nurture people, okay? You care because the Cancer is the moon, which is the mother, okay? Because the moon is your ruler as a Cancer as a Cancer moon. Sometimes you all can, if you're not safe, feeling safe, you'll withdraw. You'll go into your shell. Okay. Or yeah, you'll withdraw, you'll leave if you're not feeling safe in your environment. But that's what you need to feel safe and secure. You kind of like to merge with people. You're like, I don't want to stand out too much. And I want to make sure that everyone has what they need as a nurturer. Leo Moon. Leo Moon, you like to stand out and be the center of attention in social environments. And I know a lot of you will say, no, that's not true. I don't like to be the center of attention. But if you really think about it, think about your last social sort of outing. What were you doing and did you feel comfortable? If you weren't talking, if you weren't, interacting with people, how did you feel? If you weren't interacting and talking, if people weren't looking at you at some point during that social environment, then you may have not felt safe. You subconsciously, thought that the party was a drag because the intention wasn't on you. There's nothing wrong with having the attention be on you. All right, check out my first video about emotional and anxiety triggers. I talk about how fire signs have to, at some point, be the center of attention. We need you, like, because you have this essence about you that we like to put our attention on you. Okay, so that's what you need to feel safe and secure in social environments. Virgo moon, you need to feel useful in environments. And you also need, much like Taurus moon, just earth sign, you need to have some sense of control and make sure that the environment is comfortable. Okay. You may want to make sure that everything is organized. Like, okay, are the drinks adequate for everyone to, you like to serve too. And Virgo is a service sign. Are the drinks, the food, is it all set up adequately for people to access? All right. And if it's not, if you don't have that sense, then you can become over critical or over perfectionism, have a sense of perfectionism when it comes to the environment because you're like, this is not what it does, you're not safe. So that's where the criticism and the perfectionism comes from because you're like, well, everything is not in order. All right. So that's what you need. You need some sense of control of the environment. That's okay. And you want to make sure that everyone has what they need. So it's okay. Just do it in like, steps and then, or like do a little bit of serving here or making sure that this is organized here. You may want to ask the host, hey, what can I bring? And that'll satisfy that need. Okay. Libra moon, what you need in social environments to feel safe and secure is you want to beautify the social environment. Okay. You want to harmonize it, not even just materially but also the people there. All right. So because you like to have a balance, this doesn't mean that you like just everything to be perfect and happy. If people are like phony, then to you that's an imbalance. So you're like, okay, no, I need to know what is going on here, that everything is just phony. It's not real because that's not balanced because there's too much of the fakeness, right? So you're like, I need this environment to be beautiful. You need it to be mentally stimulating and pleasurable for you in terms of the aesthetic and in terms of how people operate in the environment to feel safe. Scorpio, what you need to feel safe and secure in an environment is to see the underlying. Scorpio Moon, secretive. Like you like to know what the secrets are. You like to see, like if you're at an environment or at a party, you're like, I want to know the underlying stories here. I want to see the subtle things that other people can't see, right? You're the investigator of the zodiac, the Scorpio moon. Scorpio is period, but so you're like, what mysteries can I solve or what can I see psyche to? You know what I mean? So you're like, what psychological sort of interactions are taking place? Like who's dating who like, you know, and if it's too boring, if you're like can't find a mystery or kind of like just looking, which is okay, you can creative subconsciously create this sense of crisis, okay? Because in this lower nature, Scorpio he likes crisis. So you can feel, if you that can make you feel unsafe if there's nothing underlying some like exciting story, that other people can't, some type of mystery about people or the environment or whatever that you can't solve. You can create the crisis so that you can have something, you know what I mean? So it's okay, just, talk to people casually. Don't be trying to to dig into the stories, but you can also share, a little bit, a part of yourself that's, mysterious too. But learning to incorporate that sense of mystery is important to do it without the crisis attached to it, the drama attached to it, okay? Sagittarius Moon, what you need to feel safe and secure in social environments is you have to have this sense of it has to be stimulating in terms of, bigness. Sagittarius is big, okay? So the environment has to be, big, and you have to feel adventurous, like talking to person, and sort of you could be wanting to talk about people's yours, your philosophy views, higher knowledge, that type of thing. You're another one of those signs where you're fire, so it's like, this cannot be too flat. It cannot be too small. You got to be in some environments that are like, okay, let me go over to that person, because you're the opposite of Gemini Moon. Gemini also kind of likes to do this thing too, where let me find out some interesting things about this person. Like, let's discuss spirituality and philosophy, and like that's what you need to feel safe and secure in your environments. That sense of bigness, that sense of exchanging, spirituality, philosophy in your environments. Otherwise, if you don't feel safe and secure, if people aren't, interacting with you, engaging with you on that level, that higher level, spirituality, philosophy, education, then you could be like, this is too small for me. I'm leaving. As a Sagittarius moon. Okay, so that's what you need to feel safe and secure. Capricorn Moon, in order to feel safe and secure in social environments and situations, you need a sense of control over the environment. Like, you could be the leader that's like, okay, who's going to handle this? Who's going to handle that? Where is the place going to be before you even go to a place? You know what I mean? You're like, I want to make sure that everything is in order. Now, another thing that you could do, because you're sort of, you like to get ahead, you could take advantage of social situation, be like, you know what, I can use this to work with people, network with people, so I can maybe find work or maybe find, opportunities, which is fine as long as you are mindful that that is not your primary focus. You got to have fun too. But it's okay to have, some sense of like, oh yeah, do you have enough of this? Like, just don't be too authoritative about that sense of leadership and that sense of, I want to get ahead so I can open the door to a work opportunity or something like that. Okay? Aquarius Moon, what you need in social environments to feel safe and secure is you like to feel the electricity of the environment, right? You like to see what people believe in because you're a higher consciousness. Aquarius is higher thought, enlightenment, consciousness. Okay, so you like to see, oh yeah, what does this person believe? All right, and you like to have that sort of stimulation. And sometimes you'll talk to people and you'll bring up like human rights or, some like discussions in terms of higher consciousness. Like, hey, like, let me tell you about this animal rights or these people rights, or, how can we move to higher states of consciousness? If everything's stimulating is if everything is on this higher kind of realm, okay? And groups are great for you as long as groups, activities, and social, you're great at it if there is a sense of meaning and purpose in terms of consciousness, okay? So that's what you need. It can't be too flat, too boring. It can't have any elements of low enlightenment, kind of folks around in order for you to feel safe and secure in social environments. Pisces Moon, what you need to feel safe and secure in social environments is you have this need to serve people. You have this need to sort of emotionally merge with people. So you like to either pour your heart out to other people or like listen to other people so that they have a place to land where they can vent to you. All right. Another thing about you during social environments, Pisces Moon, is you could be one way with one person because Pisces is very very changeable, right? It's been said sort of that Pisces holds all 12 signs, so it can be all 12 signs, right? So you may be one way with one person, and then you go to the next person, and you're one way with them. Okay, so it's just this merging, like, hey, are you okay? Or you could want someone to listen to you, sort of vent and get your feelings out. But that's what you need in social environments to feel safe and secure. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and comment below and let me know what your moon sign is.